When we lose trust in our own selves, when we lose trust in our own body's wisdom, we can become obsessed with external factors like the scale, and they can dictate how we feel about ourselves. If we're trying to undergo a health transformation, something that's going to help us feel better physically, sometimes we can be conditioned and programmed into using an external indicator or benchmark that really has nothing to do with true well-being. Sometimes we can get obsessed with the scale, and it will actually begin to consume how we feel about ourselves, and it can put people in a panic. It can put us into a panic when we even think about stepping on that scale. That's completely counterproductive to actually improving our well-being. If it comes to weight loss, and if it comes to balancing our hormones, if it comes to just feeling better overall, the last thing we want to do is start to instigate a cascade of emotions that are going to stress the body out. Okay, we want to stay in a regulated state of calm and centeredness, because that is conducive to healthy metabolism and healthy hormones, and every area of our health improves when we stay in that regulated state. So today we're going to use EFT tapping to release the panic that comes with an obsession with the scale. If we're trusting or using the scale in a way that's negatively affecting us, if we have a negative relationship with stepping on the scale, this is the video. This is the EFT tapping video for us today, that we're going to help to shift out of that mindset, release the emotions that come with the scale. So if you're doing this video today, tap where I tap, and if you're participating, you're taking complete responsibility for your own well-being. Karate chop point and just say what I say. Even though the scale puts me into a panic, I accept myself deeply and completely. Even though I have this fucked up relationship with the scale, and it completely rules the way I feel about myself, I choose to love myself deeply and completely right now. Even though I have this fucked up relationship with the scale, and it completely dictates my mood, the way I feel about myself, I accept myself deeply and completely. I'm using this external benchmark. It's called the scale. It's the way that I weigh myself, and I've attributed my weight to my worth, and it's happened over the course of a lifetime. And I'm addressing that now. I'm giving it a voice, and I'm sending myself full love, empathy, and compassion, even though it's scary and intimidating to even challenge or address my fucked up relationship with the scale. I accept myself deeply and completely, even though it feels intimidating and scary. I don't even want to go there. It just is what it is with this fucked up relationship with the scale. I accept myself deeply and completely, even though I've let my scale determine my self-worth. I accept myself deeply and completely with full love and compassion. I'm using this external indicator as a way to punish myself when I'm not feeling worthy, when I'm not feeling good enough, when I'm not feeling calm and centered or happy about myself. I use the scale to dictate my worth, the way I feel about myself. I've used the scale for way too long as a measuring device that dictates how I feel. I'm ready to take my power back, even though I've given my power away to the scale. I accept myself deeply and completely. I've not been using my body properly as a guidance system. I'm using the scale to dictate my benchmark of success, but I'm ready to take my power back, and I'm loving myself through the process, deeply, completely, with full compassion and empathy. Right now, I take my power back, even though I've never done that before, because I've had this fucked up relationship with the scale. I love and accept myself with deep empathy and compassion. This fucked up relationship with the scale, it's taking my power away. It's dictating how I feel about myself. It's telling me if I should feel good or bad about myself. I'm using an external factor to tell me how I'm doing. It's telling me that I should trust something outside of myself. I don't really like the way it makes me feel. Even if it tells me I'm accomplishing a weight loss goal, ultimately, it feels like a hamster wheel. I'm always just chasing that scale. It doesn't really lead to true, satisfying joy. I'm always chasing results on the scale. I hate my power being tied to the scale. I'm recognizing this power struggle. I'm recognizing that I've given my power away to an external source, the scale. I'm recognizing that fucked up relationship now. I'm giving it a voice. It's been passed down to me from my family and friends and TV, media, my culture, society, friends, all these different influences fucking with my head. It is what it is, but I'm loving myself through it anyway. I'm recognizing all the connections that I've made to my worth in the scale, the way I feel about myself, the way I'm making progress with my own well-being. It doesn't need to be determined by an external indicator. I'm allowed to listen to my body. When I really do balance my body, treat my body well, it feels good. It feels really good to be healthy. True health and well-being feels good. I can trust myself again. I'm beginning to understand that I can trust myself again because it does feel good to be healthy. I used to have this fucked up relationship with health and wellness. I'm recognizing that now. It was connected to the scale. And the scale used to define whether I'm doing good or bad. But I'm loving myself through this realization. I'm loving myself through the realization that the scale no longer defines me. I love myself with full empathy and compassion, even though the scale used to define me. Any fluctuations on the scale, they could be a good thing or a bad thing, send me into a tailspin, send me into a panic. And I'm acknowledging the power it used to hold over me, the power that I would give away to the scale. I'm taking that power back now. I can listen to myself, my body. When I balance it right, when I treat it right, it feels good to be healthy. I can use that as my guidepost, as my benchmark of good health. I'm allowed to trust myself again. I'm allowed to trust myself now. The way that I feel can be my guidepost, can be my benchmark of good health. I'm allowed to feel good. I'm allowed to feel good about myself. I don't need an external indicator like a scale to dictate that. I'm releasing my relationship with the scale. I'm releasing all the negative things that I used to connect to the scale, like my feeling of worthiness. I now know my worthiness is inherent. I now know I can trust myself, my body, to guide me to make the right decisions that feel good, to help me balance myself. When I nourish my body, when I move my body, when I rest my body, hydrate myself well, when I do what really supports my well-being, it feels good to be healthy. And I don't need to rely on an external indicator to tell me if I'm being good or bad. I choose to feel good. I choose to treat myself well. I don't need to rely on the scale anymore. I take my power back. I love myself. Even though I'm judging myself for having this relationship with the scale, I'm acknowledging that judgment. I'm acknowledging that shame and humiliation. All the years of shame and humiliation that have to do with being a certain size, that have to do with being a certain weight, and feeling like success means a certain number. Success means you're losing weight. I'm recognizing I don't want that definition any longer in my belief systems. I don't want that as an active belief anymore. I choose to take my power back, and I'm loving myself through the process. I choose to take my power back from the scale, from my fucked up relationship with the scale. I'm taking my power back now. I'm trusting myself again. I'm trusting my body. I know that feeling good is good. I love to feel healthy. I trust myself again. I'm loving myself through the process. It's okay to trust myself. It's okay to trust my body. It's okay to feel healthy. When I feel healthy, I choose to make the right decisions because it feels good to be healthy. I release my fucked up relationship with the scale. I take my power back completely. I choose to know that I'm doing well by the way that I feel. I choose to trust myself. Take my power back. It feels good. Breathing in. Release. And know that you have just shifted and released a huge part of the emotional energetics that have tied you to that fucked up relationship with the scale. And now you're free to create whatever loving relationship with your body. And you are amazing, and you were born that way. Sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next video.